Is there a path to the New York Jets winning the AFC East for the first time since 2002? One writer explained the possible path. Me and Hop on Pop will talk about it and your phone calls and so much more. Boy Green Daily starts now.
Oh my gosh, it's morphin' time! To me, talking New York Jets is my superpower. Boy Green Daily starts now. Wow! Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily.
It's not just football, man.
Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. Offense, defense, special teamwork, Jets football with Boy Green. J-E-T-S, Jets. Let's go!
What's going on, everybody? I'm Paul Esden Jr., a.k.a. Boy Green. I'm the New York Jets digital reporter for Heavy.com. Welcome to Boy Green Daily, a daily New York Jets video show, also available wherever you find your podcasts. And those podcasts are via the Believe Network, BLEAV, Spotify, Apple, Amazon. Make sure you guys rate and review the show. Appreciate that out in the audience. It is a beautiful Saturday here on June 13th, a little after 7:30 in the morning. And my co-host extraordinaire for today's festivities. Before we dive into the topic and dive into the comments, let's bring him on. He comes on every weekend. He's back to his normal spot. The suns and moons and stars are aligned. Hop on Pop graces us with his presence.
Hey now, good morning, Coffee Club.
There you go. And everyone says that you're like in a Star Wars bunker of some kind every time they see you in this background.
Yeah, it's true. I'm ready to, hit hyperspeed.
Hyperdrive, I believe, is the
Ludicrous speed for those space ballers out there.
Oh, yeah, there you go. That's a nice touch. And before we get started, Pop, we have a mission. We have a mission to our people. We have a mission to our fans. We have a mission to everybody, including we have a mission to Lou B. Super Jets fan who sends in this super chat.
Wow.
Thank you for the $1.99 super chat, Lou B. Super Jets fan. We'll talk more about you later specifically. We'll hang on tight for that while we talk about the topic at hand. But he says, 2-hour drive with BG, make it better. Thank you. Well, hopefully that's exactly what happens here. You got to meet Lou B at the tailgate last year, Pop.
Absolutely. I thought he was talking about a drive that he took with you, not that you're going to make his drive better.
That's funny. Yeah. Yep. Nope. No drive with me. I don't know when's the next time he's going to get into the car with me. Because to be honest, a few times at the end, and this didn't have anything to do with me, but maybe it did. He went like, "Yeah, I'm just going to take an Uber. I'm just going to take an Uber." And I'm like, "Are you sure?"
That checks out.
Yeah. So that's it for that. So Lou B, hopefully we do entertain you with our look down AFC East glory and whether it's possible. Shout out to my good buddy Michael Nania of JetsXFactor.com, who laid out in his belief the facts of how it could happen. And we'll walk through it, and Pop will thumbs up or thumbs down as we go through each of these reasons and things of that nature. But first, I see we got some memberships being gifted here on YouTube. Pop, our number one Austrian Jets fan, has dove into the deep end of the pool. Every time we get 5 memberships or more, we have no other choice but to play some sort of a video thank you to our number one Austrian Jets fan, and I always remember what his favorite one is.
Kevin James. I just got 3 things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your engine!
All right, Pop, I know this is your favorite part of the show. Can you read me the latest members to the Boy Green Coffee Club, thanks to the gift here from our number one Austrian Jets fan as I update the banner here?
Yeah, it's Keith Kirkwood, Johnny P6, Phil Sounds, ... Donald D. Johnson, and Jay Long.
Okay, they are all now members to the Boy Green Coffee Club. Thank you, Austrian Jets fan. You were in a shared tie for first place, but now you have first place all to yourself. And that's what we're going to talk about here on the show, potentially, for the New York Jets for the first time since 2002. So, Papa, Are you ready? Hey, I didn't write this article for one, so take that for whatever you will. It was somebody else completely, which again, that article is included in the YouTube description down below. So again, shout out to the one and only Michael Nania of JetsXFactor.com. And he wrote the article that everything that needs to happen for the Jets to win the AFCs. First off, before we even give any reason, because maybe this answer will shift at the end of this program, do you believe there is any chance on planet Earth that the Jets can win the AFC East in 2026?
No.
Wow. Not a single iota? Nothing?
Is there any chance? Let me make sure I understand your question.
Yeah.
Is there any chance
possibility, right, in any multiverse that the New York Jets somehow, some way win the division, the AFC East in 2026? And again, I will ask you this question at the end of this exercise after we go through all these reasons by Michael Nania, what he believes has to happen for us to be in there. Do you think it's remotely possible?
Yeah, I'm not. So I'm not saying there isn't an outside chance they make the playoffs. Playoffs?
Because I actually do see that there under your name that we are, I guess, apparently talking about.
Playoffs? Are you talking about the playoffs?
But the division, I mean, I just don't see it. You'd have to have historic, epic collapses by multiple franchises, and I just don't see it happening. Although, the integrity and honesty and straightforwardness of one of the franchises is in question. But no, the Jets. I have not had relations with that woman. Well, thank you, Mr. President. But and thank you, Head Coach Rabel. But anyways, honestly, I don't see there's any way that they can win the division. And I just hope that you can handle the truth.
Some people would say I can. Some people would say you can't.
You can't handle the truth.
So I do think so with all that being said, you asked me a straightforward question. I would tell you there is room for significant, and obviously there's room for significant improvement by the Jets, but there is room for them to get better, be better. I think it's more realistic that they're in the just under 500 range, which is double the amount of wins they had last year. I think that's entirely possible. And maybe on the other side of 500, so I think that's possible. But to go all the way to win the division, I don't see that. I don't see 2025 New England Patriots vision happening for I just don't see it.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, but let's see. And I wanted to ask you that question at the beginning of this. And then as that is also true, Scotty Mayhem says, wait, where is it? So many comments are coming in quickly. Scotty Mayhem said the last time Pop said 0.0% that didn't age well. So yeah, maybe.
But I didn't say 0.0 this time. I said they didn't have a chance.
You sort of implied it, I guess. But yeah.
Well,
Anywho.
the Jets, according to Vegas, who build shiny buildings and shiny streets and billions of dollars, there are some prognosticators that have them at under like 3.5 wins, I believe. So
what? Wow, that's lower than I've seen. Okay, but all right, I'll take your word for it. But I will say this before.
So DraftKings has them at 5.5.
Yep,
and Yahoo Sports has them at 3.5.
Yahoo Sports, well, they're just some random media company. Screw them. Anywho. Before we get to it, we got a little chub for club action, Pop. We're all chubbing for clubbing. I know that's, you're leading that army. Here we go. Hit it. That is 2 raffle tickets for Chub for Club, baby. Who to go to, Pop?
Board Fat.
I'm sorry?
Board, BORED, Fat. Board Fat.
Well, thank you, Chub for Club, for Board Fat. Getting a member to the Boy Green Coffee Club. Thank you, pal. We'll get more into the raffle tickets later. We'll have some announcements to share and everything else. But thank you, Chub for Club. Thanks, brother. So here's what's going to happen. There's a full article in the YouTube description down below from Michael Danny of Jets X Factor. He wrote an article and what he believes has to happen for the Jets with the AFC East. And I will go through the reasons and I'll break it up. I'll go through a reason, then me and Pop will talk about it. Then we'll go through the next reason. So without further ado, let's get into this and see if we can change your opinion. Because at the beginning of this, you're saying, I don't see it. So can it happen? We will see. The Jets, of course, have not won the AFC since 2002. It's a long time ago. And right now, according to FanDuel Sportsbook, the Jets are plus 2,000 to win the AFC East. Those are the fourth longest odds to win a division in the National Football League. So there are teams that are even a bigger stretch to win their divisions than the Jets. So the Jets are not the longest odds. So take that for whatever you will.
You really sound like that little kid from Angels in the Outfield.
I haven't seen that movie in a long time.
There's a chance if there was a fleet of angels like carrying Brees Hall down the field and blocking for him, it could happen. So anyway,
we don't need angels. We have the soldiers of God up front with these five offensive lines.
Let's not blaspheme. All right, calm down.
Okay. So one of the things that Michael says before we get into any of the reasons is that he is not going to, how could the Jets win the AFC East? If someone, what was the girl's name? Nancy, who was it? Not Kerrigan. Who was the girl who got hit? The ice skater with the crowbar or something. What was her name?
I think it was Nancy Kerrigan.
It was Nancy
Tanya
Kerrigan.
Harding
Okay, I was right.
Was the one that hired a bored fat guy to whack her with a stick.
Allegedly.
No, he went to jail. So,
well, the fact that innocent people go to jail all the time. The point is that Michael is saying that, hey, we're not just going to say Josh Allen Drake may fall down the stairs. That's how the Jets do it. His plan that we're about to walk through is not benefiting from other people like imploding injury wise. It's imploding in different ways. So I just want to establish that right off the beginning. And I agree that can't be the path to making it happen. So let's go through each point. And so here's the first one. That the Patriots' luck pendulum swings in the other direction. And after coming off this 14-win season where they went to the Super Bowl, they are widely viewed, in Michael Nania's opinion, as a top regression candidate. A lot of people have pointed out their soft schedule and some of those factoids. Well, here are some of the numbers. They had the third easiest schedule in the NFL over the last 50 seasons last year when they faced opponents who had a 0.391 winning percentage. So he says things will balance out. They'll play tougher opponents, and thus that could affect their results. He also said the Patriots enjoyed great fortune in luck-based areas. Their 60% fumble recovery rate was fifth best in the NFL, and their 82% opponent field goal conversion rate was the 10th lowest in the NFL. Drake may also got away with quite a few dangerous passes, tossing 8 interceptions against 17 turnover-worthy plays. So he says he doesn't expect the Patriots just to be a bad football team, but those kind of variables could shift what was a 14-win Patriots team to a much more manageable 9 or 10-win football team, which would open the door for the Jets. So we'll start off with the Patriots. Do you believe that it's possible this pendulum swing could go the other direction after a lot of fortuitous things happened for the Patriots last year?
Yeah, I would just like to preface this discussion with saying this is not how I would have approached it, but
Okay.
This is how he did, so we'll dissect the article. It is possible that the Patriots will return to earth, right? Drake May, showed up and showed out exactly who he was in the playoffs. Go look at his stats. Not great. Not great. And he won't be playing one of the weakest schedules in the history of the NFL. And so will that be different? Yes. I had it right here.
Okay.
Right here. Yeah, so they're still projected. They're projected to fall off a little bit. They're still in the 9.5 to 10.5 win range. I think that's probably right about where they are, where they will be. But if they were at 9, most people, if you're placing a wager, by the way, if you have a problem, please consult 1-800-SUCK-IT. No, if you have a problem gambling, most people are leaning the under here. I do think there'll be a fall off So I do agree with that. There will be a fall off for the Patriots. Not only is Drake May going to come down to earth, the schedule is going to get harder, but the wholesome apple pie, let's follow the beacon of light and purity that is our head coach is somewhat tarnished.
Well, Michael didn't write this layer in it, but why not talk about it? Like, is there a chance that whole thing implodes? Because maybe I don't know any of this, but what if these TMZ people who they dropped the story, the New York Post and all that, and then for the last couple of weeks, it's now gone dead. But for the last couple of weeks after that initial bomb, they dropped new photos. What are the chances that they're holding on to something? And week one, they open the season against a defending champion Seattle Seahawks, and days before they drop another layer they've been holding on to about this story that increases the heat. What about that possibility? And that sort of disrupts the entire Patriots thing from the inside. You blow up the Death Star from the inside.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible. I would tell you that whoever did it was masterful, right? So they just a tip, right? And then he's like, hey now, you know what? I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, you're misinterpreting. You're misinterpreting these pictures. I would never do that. And then, oh well, I'm gonna take some time off. My wife is currently whooping my ass. I mean, come on. And his whole thing is the stand-up guy, and he said things in the past about, it just showed, the kind of true person that he is.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what else you would have, some other nugget other than maybe one of whatever name's kids is his.
No.
That I don't know the age of her children, but if they showed a picture of a kid on week one, they released a picture of a kid and he has a crew top.
Yeah.
He's talking with a Boston accent. So that would be a deal breaker. But the Patriots clearly are not the vision of integrity of the NFL. So apparently it doesn't bother them. They've got the owner. What's his last? It's Robert Rubentug. Is that what his last name is?
I believe it's Kraft.
By the way, just real quick about Robert Kraft.
Okay.
If I'm Robert Kraft, I'm not going to a strip mall to get that business taken care of. I'm sending them a jet, and they're coming to me. I'm not going to a strip mall. Is that Robert Kraft? You're at the Hallmark store or whatever's in that little, you're at that little cheesy bar or barbecue place in the strip mall. Is that Robert Kraft going into the, I'm not going to, I have a bunch of jokes. I'm not going to say any of them, but it's just weird that's how he got caught.
By the way, don't you, and this goes back to the Vrabel thing too, at a certain point, you just start getting arrogant and you don't, you either don't care or there's some, whatever the word is, your engine gets revved from riding the line of, ooh, we could get caught or we could not get caught, because it sounds like from a lot of the reporting on the Vrabel Diana thing, they started doing more things very open that people are like, whoa, what's going on over there? So maybe that's the thing with Kraft of going to a place like this. I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, the best thing he could have done when the first thing came out was shut up. That's what he should have done.
No comment.
And then he made it no comment. And then, be doing a bunch of squealing and dealing. Because what if he told his wife, I have no idea what they're talking about. They're taking these pictures of me. If he did that, because apparently she's still hanging around with him.
Yeah.
She should give him the old Eddie Murphy. Right. There's an Eddie Murphy skit. He said he was worried about getting a divorce and he didn't want to marry someone from the United States because they would take half of his stuff. Right. So he went to the Congo or wherever and found some bush woman and he married her. And then she was in the United States for 5 years. And then she goes hey, how's it going? And she's like, I want half, Eddie. Half. I want half. So I'm not sure why Mrs. Vrabel is not requesting half, and that's a terrible. You should go watch that Eddie. Go ahead, YouTube Eddie Murphy. I won half,
Yeah.
Eddie. Very funny.
Okay, I'll make sure we put that on the list. So that's it for the Patriots. Basically, and that's so. We'll ask if I'll ask you the question directly. Do you buy? I know we were just talking about it, but do you buy that that is a legitimate possibility that basically luck, strength of schedule, a lot of these things that just happen to bounce their way could not bounce their way in 2026?
I see him second place, 9 wins. That's where I see the Patriots.
Okay, so 9 wins. Okay, but okay, interesting. And by the way, I will also say as we go through this, I agree that that's possible. That the Patriots did get a sugar high from their cupcake schedule last year, but you also have to win the games. The Jets, to look inward, there have been plenty of games where they don't beat the opponents. They don't beat opponents they're not supposed to beat, nor opponents they should beat. And neither happens, and that's how you get a 3-14 season last year. So, yeah, that's possible for the Patriots. All right, let's go to this one. The next one here from Michael Nania, again, as we talk about the Jets' path to winning the AFC East in 2026, according to Michael Nania. We'll go through each one and, again, share our opinion whether or not we think it's possible. This next one is Buffalo Bills focused here, that the Bills defense caps them out at a wild card level. He says, barring injuries, it's hard to imagine the Bills or Patriots having just a terrible season where they're below 500. But he does say that the Jets' path is Buffalo and New England, capping out around 9 or 10 wins, which leaves the door open for the Jets to win the title with at least 11 wins, is his thought. And the regression possibility would be built around their defense, because Sean McDermott had been calling the defense for a decade as the head coach. Now they're having an entirely different defensive mindset, and their head coach is an offensive guy. And they are coming off a rough defensive season. That's part of the reason why McDermott was thrown in the door. And he talked about that they're 12th in points allowed, 7th in total defense, which sounds pretty good. But the underlying metrics paint a more accurate picture. The Bills were 20th in defensive DVOA last season, which reveals some of their true problems. And he talked about some of their additions this offseason, like Bradley Chubb, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, and D. Alford. All three players had PFF grades below 55 in this past season, which were bottom half at all of their positions. He says BFF isn't the only metric to grade this sort of thing. But there isn't promising trends based on the underwhelming talent with the guys on the roster. And the firing of Sean McDermott throws off basically the flux of the defense, which could lead to a bunch of problems. So defense getting even worse now that Sean McDermott isn't there, and that shifting focus. And thus, Josh Allen's really good, but if the defense implodes, we've seen what happens to Joe Burrow when you could score a lot of points, but your defense can't stop a lot of people. That's not a good combination.
Yeah, that's true. And I think we saw the erosion of the defense in a few of the late season games last year and in the playoffs where, back and forth, Josh Allen, carrying the team on his back, bada boom, bada bing, that huge fourth quarter, right? Where he had 250 yards passing in a quarter last year, whatever game that was in, Josh Allen had. Yes. Yeah. So here's a fun fact. Since 2020, can you name the team that has won at least 11 wins every season since 2020?
Is that Buffalo?
It is Buffalo. At least 11 wins. I mean, I know it's like, you're like, that doesn't exist. Like, that's a unicorn. That no team can win that many games. More than 11 every year since 2020. This
so
one
they're due for a fall off, is what you're saying.
No, this is Fugazi. Yes, they will. They are going to win the division unless the way. Here's the path. The path is nothing that this Jamoke said in his article. The path is somebody Nancy Kerrigan's Josh Allen's ass.
Good Lord!
Somebody whacks him with a baton on his knee.
The defense could implode. That's possible. It's already shown signs of implosion.
250 yards passing in a quarter. That's 5 games for Justin Fields last year. That was a quarter.
That's not nice. Not nice.
It's true.
But what about the Bengals, right?
Please don't go in the closet and cry.
That's a good advice. But what about the Bengals? Joe Burrow was putting up crazy. He had a near MVP season, but because their record sucked and the defense sucked, he didn't get it. But he was in the running a couple years ago, and his offensive explosion wasn't enough.
Yeah. The difference is when Joe Burrow has the ball, you're like, oh, he could do it. If you watch that game, like Josh Allen's like it was like Joe Montana going into the huddle against the Cincinnati
Mhm.
Bengals in the Super Bowl. Everyone in the stadium knew that it was over. Joe Montana was like, hey, by the way, you guys see up there in the stands, it's John Candy, right? That's how cool Joe. So you want to talk about cool? You can talk about that Sally that everyone mistakenly calls the GOAT from New England. You want to talk about cool? Joe Montana is scouring the fields for celebrities before he marches his team down to win the frickin' Super Bowl.
49ers,
Joe
Bengals.
Montana.
Yeah.
Let me how many Super Bowls did Joe Montana lose? I'll wait.
Lose. Oh, 0. He did lose one.
0.0. Anyways, that's Joe Cool. Joe Burrow, I'm just saying, Josh Allen, like he took over the game, right? Joe Burrow, and by the way, Josh Allen is far more talented than Joe Burrow, and people can get upset about that. But all you have to do is look to the wide receiver talent that Burrow has, and look at the hello. Oh, is it in this bag? Hello, where's the wide receiver? We were goofing on it last year, preparing for the season. Like, who are these people? Like, we could have a party of Buffalo Bills season ticket holders and have the catering staff be their wide receivers, and no one would know it.
So it sounds like we may have to go to another place to be able to do this for Buffalo. Jets Worldwide comments in here. BG, get the Buffalo Bills voodoo doll stat. It sounds like what you're suggesting, Pop, is we need to get into the not that one, actually. It's the do we need to get one of these again for the Bills?
Yes, I think you do. I think it's better. There's more likelihood that the Jets win the division by there being an emergency meeting of the owners of moving Buffalo out of the AFC East.
Oh, Pop, all you have to do is believe, man. All you have to do is believe. But okay, so you're not buying this one. That's fine. You're not buying the Bills defense could collapse. Let's hope it does. Hey, that Sean McDermott guy, pretty good. We'll see if that does. All right. And then here's the other one here. Sorry, Dolphins. It doesn't look like you were very much included on this list as we're trying to figure out the path for the Jets to win the AFC East. The Dolphins didn't get much mention here, but I think that's for obvious reasons. And I heard Dave talk about it earlier, Dave Brigger in our comment section. He says, I don't want to talk about other teams. I want to talk about our team. And okay,
Sure.
now let's talk about our team. What Jets have to do? Control their own destiny. No, go ahead.
Yeah, that's exactly how I would have written the article. I wouldn't have written it off this way. But by the way, we can chortle about the Miami Dolphins, but they beat the Jets by a total of 30 points last year. They won both games against the Jets by an average of 15 points, which is north of, for those that struggle with math, north of 2 touchdowns. And one of them was part of the baby seal clubbing that was the last 5 games of the season for the Jets.
I choose to look forward. I don't look in the past. I live my life looking forward. Ships ahoy as we're going this way. We're going in this direction. Just want to make that clear.
No. Yeah, I'm not saying I do believe that the Jets will be better than Miami, but poo-poo Miami is very similar to the conversation you had about, the Jets like, we don't want that quarterback because we're better than that. And then you're like, are we? But anyways, let's go.
Well, I actually, before we move on, I just see Yo Holmes talk about it, and that's the thing. Where is it? Bring this up. Bills with the new coach will be interesting to see how they play. Is it the car or is it the driver? I use like a NASCAR reference here, right? You have a Ferrari. This Bills is a Ferrari. They have freaking Josh Allen. He's an MVP. Could anyone be the head coach? Can Joe Blow drive this Ferrari around? It's going to drive the same speed. We're about to find that out. Can Joe Brady just step into the car and go, oh, wow, driving this thing's easy? Or was it the skill of the driver? And he could have been driving a sedan, a Ferrari, anything. It wouldn't have mattered because the driver was good. They had built a level of consistency and all these things, obviously, continuity and all the rest with Sean McDermott. That's a question. I throw that to you. Can anyone drive this car? Is it what Mike Shanahan used to say about running backs? I could throw anyone back here. I'm getting 1,000 yards. Can anyone be the head coach of the Bills? And they're going to be this dominant force that you laid out.
Yeah, I mean, that's the question really to be answered. I mean, you look at the fact that how many teams fired their head coach after X number of seasons with 11 plus wins. That typically does not happen. That does not happen. So you get major league yabos to do that. So it will be interesting. Is it really the talent on the team? Was it the coach? Was it Josh Allen? Can anybody do it? We're going to find out.
And not only does it take Major League Guabos to whack someone after that, but it also takes Major League Guabos to then hire from within. You think that, oh no, we've got this thing with the wrong guy. So it would be one thing to completely say, we've got Josh Allen, we need to take advantage of this. We need to go get the best possible head coach we can find, plug him in, and then it takes us to this next level of thinking. They didn't do that. They promoted from within. To me, that takes Major League Guabos, or you're nuts.
Or you're a moron.
Possible. So good comment, Yo Holmes. As I was thinking about it myself, I'm like, again, can anyone drive this car? That'll again be fascinating to me. So again, let's look inward. Let's take the Dave Brigg advice. Let's look inward for the Jets. How can they do it? So let me ask you this question: how many wins, if the Jets had any shot of winning the division? So you're almost putting the Bills and Patriots on the side, but you're not, because you have to say, especially with your stat you just shared about Buffalo winning 11 games every year for this, do the Jets have to win the AFC East? What's the number? Is it 12 wins? Is it 13 wins? Is it 9 wins? Is it 10 wins? How many wins do the Jets have to get in your mind that you're like, oh yeah, they can win the division if they get to that number?
Yeah, I'm in probably 11 and a half. Use Vegas numbers, use a half there. 11 and a half, 12 wins to win the division. But yeah, I mean, yeah.
Which, by the way, is the most wins the Jets have ever had in a single season ever. Back in 1998, they won 12 games. They've never won more than 12 games in their history. And now we have more games than we had in 1998. We're at 17 now, so we have more whacks at the pinata, and it still has not happened, of course. That's the most they've ever had. So to say, hey, to win the division, you just have to have the most wins you've ever had. Tie it. That's tough.
Yeah, I mean, teams last year with 10 wins, right? You were in the nervous space for a wild card with 10 wins. To win the division, it's got to be 12 wins.
Yeah. It depends on your division for sure. So we'll call it that. Michael believes it's 11. He's the number with all the other things happening. And I don't know if I agree with this, but this was Michael's take, that he says the path is the Jets have a great defense, an average offense, and great luck. And essentially, I'm boiling it down to those few terms, that's the path in his mind, is the defense is way better than we think. Offense is moderately better than the terribleness it's been, and then get some luck in the luck areas that exist, oblong-shaped football, bouncing in different directions, and things of that nature to bring it together. Your reaction is what?
Yeah, I think he's wrong. I think it's the opposite. I think the offense we can rely on. If one was going to be markedly better than last year, I think it's the offense. I think unlike the defense, which set an NFL record last year, the defense for the worst point differential in a 5-game span in the history of the National Football League. The last 5 games of the season, the point differential was north of 130, 136, 140 points, which was the worst in the history of the National Football League. I think that it is so beyond whatever. The offense truly was one player from just being a little better with Geno Smith and the other additions. I think the offense is, if on a scale of 1 to 10, if the offense last year was a 3, right, I think the offense is going to be a 7 or an 8. That's what I believe. And if the defense last year was a 1, I think they're going to be in the 4 to 5 range. So I think the offense is going to be the squad that makes a much bigger leap than the defense. The defense, it could happen, but the defense, it's really, is this team going to gel? All the people that this guy talks about and gives credit for on the defense, if you gave anyone credit that was on the team last year and you're like, they're pretty good, look at this, they got this returning starter, this returning starter. These he names like 4 or 5 names, I believe, of last year's defensive players. And I wouldn't be trotting any of their names out because those 4 or 5 players are in the NFL record books, as I just outlined. losing by an average of 23 points 5 games in a row to end the season. So the defense, I expect it to be better. It couldn't possibly get worse. I expect it to be better, but I expect the offense to take a bigger step forward than the defense, and that will propel them, right? Geno Smith is going to sling that ball around the field. This will be the best quarterback, and I'm including Aaron when I say the best quarterback in recent Jet history. You know, Aaron Rodgers, he had 3,800 yards in his season, which was the third best in Jet history. I expect Geno to throw for north of 4,000 if he stays healthy. So, and is he going to throw picks? Yes, he is going to throw interceptions. But I think he's in the 25-15 club. For over 4,000 yards, 25-15. That would not shock me if the weapons we think are who they – if the new
Come on, Dennis Green.
Are who we thought they are, right? If this number 2 wide receiver steps up, if Sadiq sets up, if Mason Taylor shows up, is he around here somewhere? Have you seen him? If Mason Taylor shows up, this dual tight end threat, I think is going to be very interesting. Our rookie, I'll tell you that if these people show up, and if anybody, if AD Metcalf, and I said that on purpose, AD Metcalf with his over 800 yards receiving he's going to have this year, right? This is going to be an exciting offense. I mean, Jets fans, I don't know. I watched every game listening to Boy Green's dulcet tones. And the upside for me was your play-by-play and, the expressions on your face. I don't know what the average Jet fan enjoyed when they were watching the games, if they watched every one, because the defense was miserable, the offense was miserable. And here's what I'll say. Geno's going to throw that ball around the yard, and hopefully the defense is better. But Geno's he's going to make it exciting. Is he going to throw picks? Sure. You know who also threw a lot of picks? Brett Favre threw a lot of picks. You know why? Because he was a gunslinger, and that's kind of the same thing I see for Geno.
Yeah, I think I'm with you on Michael's analysis for what has to happen. So he says, great defense, average offense, great luck. I think the defense has a chance to be a lot better, but I think the keys to whoa, they're surprising people is because the Jets have had great defense before. 2023 is a season I bring up all the time. Their defense was electric. Aaron Rodgers' Achilles explodes, and they just can't. The defense is holding teams to 9 points, 10 points, 13 points. It doesn't matter. The Jets can't do. And to say the offense just does just enough to stay afloat. I think if you have a couple of these 25-point games, 30-point games, whatever, the seismic differences of some of these, and then we talk about regression candidates. It's like a team that has the ball bounced in their way a lot of times. It comes back to the means. Well, you have to say the opposite. The teams where the ball has not bounced in their way on the negative side, you have to get a flux the other way, I would assume, of maybe the Jets get a bounty of turnovers. That, again, it just sort of – it's not black, white, black, white, black, white. That's not how it works. It's not heads, tails, heads, tails, heads, tails. It just flips. Now the Jets are going to lead the league in turnovers or takeaways, rather. That's not just going to happen.
That's right.
But naturally, there should be a positive, the other way in terms of a progression. Instead of the regression, you get it on the other side.
That's absolutely correct. And I'll tell you that I think it's Jets worldwide. The 2026 Geno Smith will be much better than the 2024 Aaron Rodgers. And
much better. Okay.
Some of it is addition by subtraction. So you're not going to see the douchebaggery from Geno Smith.
Looking at the sideline.
Look at the sideline. Him calling out his wide receivers when he threw
red
a
line
pass in the dirt. Red line, right? So I don't expect any of that, nor have I heard any of that from Geno Smith. All you ever hear from Geno Smith, and I'm talking about the Geno Smith who's grown into an adult, right? When he was with the Jets, was he really an adult? Yeah, he could vote and drink, but probably not an adult. I've seen him now, even after interviews, even after his team clearly blew it several times, he's always on the mic, and they're like, yeah, that's on me. We're going to do better. He's not redlining. He's not giving his coach shit. Right, he's not leaking stuff to the media on that goofball punter show, right? So that by itself is going to make it better. I predict his numbers to be better.
That would be wonderful if that happened. So, again, I think there is a path to defense being a lot better, but I don't think that's the key to the season turning around. Is that better? Like, sure, not losing 5 straight games by 23 points, that should certainly help. And there are going to be moments, right, that if the pass rush is better than 31st in the league, that should speed up the internal clock of opposing quarterbacks, which should lead to takeaways, which should give short fields to offenses for the Jets offense in particular. But I do think that some souped up offense with Brees Hall, Garrett Wilson, Mason Taylor, Kenyon Sadiq, Adonai Mitchell, or A.D. Metcalf, as you prefer, Omar Cooper Jr., I think that's really, to me, the sauce of how it all comes together here. So I would have leaned offense. Yes.
Yeah, that's exactly. We're the same, right? Here's what we need.
Okay.
We need the Jets defense not to be second to the worst as a scoring defense. They were
That would help.
31st in the NFL in scoring defense.
Not great.
Not ideal, right? We need them to be in the 20s, right? If they could just, even if they're in the 20, even if they're in the high teens on defense, right? The bottom of the top half, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like 16 to 20 in defense. I think the offense is going to be on the other side. I think the offense is going to be in the top half of the NFL. Absolutely. I believe the offense will be in the top half. Now, a lot of things have to happen, but I think Geno, as I said it before, I'll say it again, is going to be a huge key to it. And, Mason Taylor and Sadiq, is Sadiq live up to the billing? I thought the Jets drafted him too high, way too high, in my opinion. But it balanced out because I would have been happy to take him where they took their Omar. So I think it comes out in the wash, if you will. But I think we took Sadiq too high. But any of these weapons showing up and showing out, Garrett Wilson leading this wide receiver room, better quality. And, we got A.D. Metcalf. We got Arian Smith. I mean, you got some, let's see it. Let's see it.
I don't know if I would have mentioned Arian Smith in there, but I appreciate your
Well,
commitment.
you know what? Now we have a quarterback that will throw the ball down the field.
True.
Maybe Arian Smith's talents as a burner. Well, because it's hard to burn at a 3-yard pass, right?
That's true. That's true. Before we continue, you always give a shout out to Imamji. So let me give a shout out to my beautiful fiance, Tatiana, who is up, even though she probably doesn't want to be because the kid alarm clock went off and she hasn't found a way to turn it off. So Soraya Luna says, hi, pop. And I know
Hi,
Polly's
Zozo.
probably awake in there. So shout out to the grandkids. They're in the other room. So shout out to them. That's beautiful. And man, that's going to be a lot of fun. And I'm sure they're going to call you guys at some time this weekend, which will be terrific. I've got work tonight, so we'll see when that ends up squeaking in. I will just go back to the defense here real quick to say there's some interesting analysis here. So the Jets brought in some new players that he highlighted are coming off good seasons analytically. T'Vondre Sweat, Minka Fitzpatrick, Demario Davis, David Onyemata. He said they all earned great to elite overall grades from that system of PFF, which is what he's talking about. And then there are a few players that showed some promise that were on the Jets last year. Jawan Briggs was second on the team in sacks. Harrison Phillips was a nice player. You don't like Jawan Briggs or Harrison Phillips?
How many sacks did he have?
Jawan Briggs, I believe it was 4.5.
Yeah, he was. You came in the second in the last. I'm pulling back. I was going to say a terrible joke. I will not say it. Yes. So he came second the team in sacks at 4. Very impressive. Very impressive.
I don't know why you're denigrating him. Not everyone is going to have 10 sacks on a team. For a guy that you picked up for a late round pick swap to have 4 sacks that's a very nice season for the young man.
Sure. He was on the team that set the NFL record for the biggest point differential the last 5. He was on that team, right? He played the last 5 games. Was he there?
He did, yes.
Yeah. And I think we don't know. We're really underscoring how bad the Jets defense was. You know where they ranked in passing offense?
The Jets in passing offense.
Passing defense. I'm sorry.
Passing offense, I know they were last by 20 yards. But,
passing defense.
They were probably better than people think because their run defense was so poor. The team just went, I'm going to fucking run the ball down your throat.
Right. Or they got up so early that then after that just pounded the rock.
So they didn't
when you're up
test
by
it,
3
I guess.
touchdowns.
So,
right.
yeah.
So I think the number's fugazi, right? They were 17th But I think that's because teams jumped on him and they were just running the clock for the rest of the 3 quarters. Right.
Yeah,
Which made
if that worked,
their
why
rushing
throw
defense.
it? Right. I'm curious. 2 other players he mentions from last year that, Jamie Sherwood did not play well, and Will McDonald did have 8.5 sacks last year, which led the team. But, however, he basically explains in his article that they have shown high-level play before, which is true. That's how Sherwood got the $45 million contract to begin with. Will McDonald had previously had a double-digit sack season. What are the chances, in your mind, we could go by each player here, that they can, even if they don't get all the way back to what they were, can they be really decent pieces? We'll start off with Sherwood. He's no longer going to be the Mike that is now DeMario Davis. When he wasn't the leader before, and he could be a side piece of the conversation, that's when he's performed best. Can he get back to that? Do you think that's within the realm of possibilities for Sherwood to start?
By the way, in the show that we discussed, Vrabel, I don't think we should use the word side piece.
It's probably true.
Hey, now.
Over on the half that was set before the show on the Vegas over-under number on that, but proceed.
On the side piece, a little side action. Anyways, I think Jamie Sherwood can bounce back. It's all, to me, it's about a scheme, right? Yeah, it's weird, right? So, by the way, if you rewind back, one of my preseason players to watch before his regular season breakout year, this guy, Jamie Sherwood. But anyways, I would say when somebody does something good, right, and then you say, that was amazing. We're going to give you a shitload of money and then ask you to do something completely different, and then be surprised when you don't do it, right? So we're gonna have you lead the defense. We're going to do that, and then he's, do we know we can do that? We have no empirical evidence he can do that, none. And you know what? We still don't. So I do think with the right talent around him and the right play calling, play scheming, and it's too much for him to be the Mike. It was too much, right? It wasn't in his wheelhouse. It wasn't his skill set. I think he will do better.
And the other one is Will McDonald. Do you believe he can get back to something / unlock something that we haven't seen yet from Will McDonald?
Yeah, I don't think so. I think we have what we have on Will McDonald. I think Will McDonald is a very physically talented person, and that when he gets matched up against the right player, he can dominate him. But the rest of the season, he disappeared, right? He was in there. I don't know how you teach somebody how to tackle, how to play off the run, right? His strength and pass rushing, like leaping a car or blocking a field goal, when you're lined up with a big fat ugly, right? Those talents don't help you, right? And sometimes he can get around. They're too slow. He gets around them. He's got the 8.5 sacks. That's 18 and a half over 2 seasons. That's because when he's a matchup nightmare on occasions. But the rest of the time, when that big fatty is just pushing your ass down the field on the run, that's a different skill set that I'm going to run around him, right? Or I'm going to spin him, or I'm going to swim him, or what all the things here. I'm going to stun around him. When you have to mano a mano, he doesn't. That's not him. That's not his thing, right? He's not good at it, and he's shown both stopping the run, and when outside of those 2 or 3 games last year, we had 4 on this game, 2 on this game, and then one here or there. Outside of those 2 games where he had a matchup that lent to his skills, I think that's who he is. That's who he is, right? He can jump a car, he can jump and block a field goal, he can run around a slow fat guy, but you come at him. I think that's the player he is. I don't think he's going to get better.
One thing I want to highlight, I want to go back to this from Taylor Sterling. It says, Jay Ventura got paid after he did come in and wear the green dot when CJ went down. He just was bad in Wilk's system. I think there's a couple of things to highlight here. Yes, in Jay Ventura's final rookie season, final year of his rookie contract, let me put it that way, is CJ Mosley goes down, Jay Ventura steps up. He's the guy. But the thing that he had then that he didn't have last year was CJ Mosley talking into his ear, coaching him, helping him. Like, almost his presence inspired more confidence in Jamian. Like, he was like a coach as he was injured to Jamian. Mosley leaves, he parts ways, he retires and goes into a new life. And then Jameis didn't have that last year. Talking on the phone isn't the same thing as being in the facility every day and walking through everything. So I think that's the piece. So yes, did he wear the green dot in that year in which he earned the $45 million? Yeah, for the season once he came in and replaced Mosley. That is true. But I think the lack of Mosley in the building, that veteran guy being there to guide him through, led to all kinds of failures when that wasn't in there last year. Now it is back. In this case, directly where DeMario's taking over the green dot, but Jamian will be able to be with another veteran. And perhaps Jamian on his own did not perform well. Maybe it's a Wilkes system thing, possibly. But DeMario Davis coming in could inspire confidence. He's much louder. Jamin Sherwood is an introvert. DeMario Davis is absolutely not. I think that's a secret sauce. I think that's the key of hoping. Oh, thanks, Polly.
Yeah, see, that's better.
Yeah? You got a hat?
Hi, Polly.
Oh, you got a Jets hat? Okay.
Hi, Polly.
Oh, is that cool? Oh, you want to get down now? All right. Thanks, Polly. Mwah. Thanks, buddy. Thanks, bud. Appreciate that. Thanks for the hat, pal. Up. See you later. All right, there. Bye. Oh, that was cute. Okay, he just waved bye, everybody. There you go. So love that. So another possibility is that for unlocking him to see where it is. Here's the other one. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, and I've advocated for this many times, and I have not done it necessarily on the defensive side, but I will tell you, what's the salary cap for coaching staff? Anybody know?
There isn't one.
No, that's right. There isn't one. Right. And if you go back, even Zach Wilson, I talked about, Brady Cook. I talked about all these other ones. I talked about Justin Fields, right? The missing piece was finding a quarterback whisperer and paying him whatever it takes, as other teams have done, to really help these people develop. And paying CJ Mosley, whatever, $1 million, $2 million to stand on the sidelines and whisper in Sherwood's ear. Why wouldn't you do that? If he was willing, and I'm sure he was.
Probably so, I would imagine. But again, do we even know? Now, you tell me the possibilities of this happening. This is another thing that Michael has in here. In the best case scenario, second overall pick David Bailey can be a superstar as soon as year one. He just steps in and he's just awesome. What likelihood would you put on that?
Yeah, I was not, as the entire, not just, this is not just a hop on pop. Everyone doesn't like what I have to say, which is fine. But even your little pod of people didn't want David Bailey.
That's
right,
correct. Yeah,
draft.
we all wanted as a majority. I would say, again, it's not everybody. I know there isn't. We went to the draft party, and I was at that bar, and everyone went around the room asking, and there's a bunch of people that wanted David Bailey, but the majority wanted Arvell Reese.
Yeah. And so I think David Bailey hopefully will become a decent NFL player. I think you look at the history, he was kind of a one-year wonder, a one-hit wonder, right? He did lead the NCAA in sacks. Go look at his previous years. Not earth-shattering. The numbers were not earth-shattering. So, people crapped all over Chubb for Club, who used to be Tank for Ty, that Ty was a one-hit wonder. Well, Mr. Bailey could be categorized as a one-hit wonder as well. So I think he'll adapt. I think the NFL game's a lot faster than it is at Texas Tech. And so can he develop? Yes. What do I expect this year? I expect is it Briggs? I expect Briggs' number this year. I think he's going to get 4 or 5 sacks. He could surprise me, but I don't see more than that.
Yeah. I just want to push back on this one-year wonder thing, as if like he didn't exist in college football and then he just arrived. Here is the 4 years. His first 3 years were at
I'm
Stanford.
familiar with the number. I'm familiar.
And he was at Texas Tech. But for the fans, he got better every year. 2.5 sacks, 5 sacks, 7 sacks, 14.5 sacks. His tackles for loss, 8.5, 6, 8, 19.5. So like having double-digit sack season and double-digit tackle for loss numbers, that is one-year wonder, if that's what you want to call it. Like he had not had that previously, but it's not like he didn't exist in his other years. Like those are fine numbers.
Right. They're not number 2 overall draft pick numbers. So
I would say to Michael, is it going to happen? I have no idea. Is it possible? Is it immediately a superstar? Sure. We see it every year that, like, whoa, there's no rookie wall. This guy is just a dominant force.
So what you're saying is it can happen.
It could happen. It's very possible. He's a number 2 overall pick. He's not some jabroni. He's not some slapdick 50.
Saying that he's number 2 overall pick doesn't make him a phenomenal player, Zach Wilson.
It does not. Thank you for that reference. But the thing with David Bill and the Arvell Reese thing, which was the debate, is that David Bill was a right now player, plug and play. What he did in college is what he's going to be asked to do at the NFL. Arvell Reese, maybe a little off-ball linebacker, maybe a little bit of this. You need a creative defensive coordinator. No creativity necessary. David Billy, put your friggin' hand in the dirt and go get the quarterback. Seek and destroy. So the fact of the matter is, David Billy could have that immediate impact because he's doing the same damn thing he was asked to do in college.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
Well, agree to disagree, I guess, as one anchor man said at one point. And let me see if there's anything else.
San Diego is named after a German word. Anyways, go ahead.
Yes, I believe so. Again, we already talked about offense. He says staying competent on offense is the key. The luck swing, it's really even impossible to talk about that, but we talked about it a little bit with turnovers, that, again, there's regression rates and there is progression, or whatever the opposite is, like that you can have the positive flow on one side, the negative flow on the other. I think we both agree that with all the things that clearly did not go the Jets' way last season, it should, in theory, go back the other way, but that's an impossible thing to prognosticate.
True. You know, they should have taken it number 2.
Yeah, you mentioned it, Arvell Reese. Yes.
No, Jeremiah Love.
Well, thank you for squeezing that in. So again, that is the case. So we've revealed that there you go. Lou B, wherever he's driving, is giving the heart signs and hopefully driving the steering wheel with the third arm. But Pop, now that we've laid out all the facts, I asked you at the beginning and you said, like, not very likely. But now you've heard all the possibilities, this happening, this happening, this happening. You are now at what? That the Jets could win the AFC East?
Not a high chance.
So you're slightly encouraged by this conversation.
No, this discussion didn't help me whatsoever. Buffalo's going to win more than 11 games. The Patriots are going to win probably about 9, right? They will more than likely finish ahead of Miami, but the Jets are going to finish 3rd in the AFC East.
Bronze medal. Not sure that's enough for the playoffs, but hey, some divisions
maybe a silver medal. We can get it if we had a videotape of the Canadian female hockey players getting their silver medal with a stuffed animal. That's a good look. If you haven't seen that, go give that a Google. The look on their face. They hand them the stuffed animal. I'm not sure which was worth more, the stuffed animal or the silver medal. But,
it's a good point. Well, Pop, that was a thrilling AFC East conversation. Are you ready for a big reveal?
I am ready for a big reveal, and after the reveal, unfortunately, I will not be able to stay on for callers. Okay. I have we got some house guests.
Sure.
Your aunt and uncle who will be going to the tailgate. What?
So let's get into it. Let's talk about the tailgate. So, folks, you saw it yesterday if you were watching the show or heard it, where I jumped off the show for a period of time to speak with the New York Jets. I've got some great news items. If you have already bought a ticket through me, or you're on the list of people that are buying a ticket or did something else to purchase a ticket, we are sitting in section 118. That is 2 over, I believe, from the New York Jets tunnel where the players will come out. So that should be a very cool vantage point in terms of viewing. So I will get the tickets here shortly. Before I dole them all out, I have to work on the seating chart. It's like I'm a teacher or doing a bus or a class and putting the right people together, right combinations. So I'm going to work on all that behind the scenes. But Pop, here's our brand new flyer. I know how excited you are. Pow! And look at you. You get center billing right there. Boy Green, Woody, Jets ticket and tailgate experience. What? Week 5, New York Jets, Cleveland Browns. When? Sunday, October 11th. Price, $300. That includes a ticket in the 100s. That includes food prepared by Chef Kevin Gilbert, a live DJ in the B Sprinter with Lou B, non-alcoholic drinks, BYOB, if you guys would like out there in the audience, feel free, and a custom rally towel. And then all the key contributors. We've got Chef Kevin Gilbert. Of course, that goes without saying. Important piece of the puzzle. Lou B pointing at the camera right next to David Bailey there. We have Hop on Pop as the centerpiece, and we have the Jets Worldwide crew of Johnny Boy and Snowball. There's our brand new promotional banner for our event.
Hey now, very nice. Very nice.
Yes. So it's excellent. So if you guys are interested and you're hearing about this, it's official. Here is what, if you buy the package, here's what's left. We have about 30 tailgate ticket packages left, people. About 30, and then it's sold out. So here's what you have to do. If you want to come to the game and get a ticket guaranteed in the 100 section, get a tailgate ticket, get the custom rally towel that also comes with this, reach out to me ASAP. Again, we have 30 tailgate tickets left. Once those sell out, it is over. So Paul A. Esden Jr. at gmail.com, PAUL, the letter ESDENJR gmail.com. It is official. Shout out to our group that is all bought tickets so far, sitting in section 118. I will guarantee for any of the new people that come on, it will be a section guaranteed in the 100s and the tailgate experience, which is going to be awesome. We will give you that tailgate location when we get much closer to the event. I'm working with the advice of one Chef Kevin Gilbert and Lou B. So we'll keep you guys posted on the tailgate location at this point. So this is pretty exciting stuff, Pop.
It is. Did Woody pick that picture, by the way?
He did, yeah. I asked him, as a matter of fact. We had an old picture of him, but it was just he's a wrestling fan, so we had this Bret Hart Christmas sweater. Well, yeah, which was cool, and that was nice. And I said, "Hey, do you have like a Jets one?" And he took this fresh picture. So there you go. That is
nice.
This is recently. Yeah, it's fresh from a recent standpoint. It's not like I asked him yesterday. It was somewhere in the last couple of months when I told him I was doing promotional stuff. So yeah, there you go. It's a great look.
It's a great look. I'll tell you, the only person that actually doesn't look like them, is Snowball. I'm not sure.
It's at MetLife. Yeah, that's him taking a picture at MetLife, which is great. So, folks, here it is. I'm excited. This is amazing. Thank you, everybody.
Here we go.
All came together. Yeah, it's really real now. Again, that we have our section now for all the people that have already bought tickets. That part of the section is sold out. So, there may only be one ticket left. I'll have to double check, but I'm pretty sure it's sold out for our pending people. They're going to come through. So we don't have any left for our section of sitting together in 118, but we can still get you the group rate price of that price for the hundreds plus the tailgate ticket. So again, we have about 30 spots left. So if anyone is interested out there in the audience and you want to be a part of this extravagant event, now is the time to do so. And if all that didn't sell you, Pop, I have one more graphic to show here. And we just put this together yesterday. This is the official Jets tailgate menu for the event. We ran it all back. All those images on the right are the actual images from Chef Kevin Gilbert of the food. You see the EZD, which is there on the left side. That's it with the spoon being pulled out of it to show the melted cheese. There's the BG Sunday tradition that is in the top right of those four food images with the quail egg on top. That's a big quail egg. And then also in the bottom right is the BBQ beer slider. So we're going to have sliders, hot dogs, salad, EZD, house-made potato chips, pretzel sticks with salt, and then of course, Pop's Bacon Popcorn makes its epic return to the tailgate. So the food will be catered by Chef Kevin Gilbert, who is amazing. Please subscribe to him and his son's YouTube channel at Fastest Food Reviews. They're well over 250,000 subscribers, which is amazing. I'm very happy for all their success. And thank you to Chef for agreeing to do this again. So this is the full menu, baby. And it's terrific. So, again, all that food on the right are all images from Chef Kevin Gilbert at the restaurant when he was testing out the recipes. And I will also say this, Pop. I can't reveal this yet, but I can just say this. We have our restaurant takeover event coming up on October 10th. It is the night before. Chef Kevin Gilbert, and God bless him, we'll reveal this next week, made a custom menu for that event for our people in attendance. And he showed me it, and he put so much hard work into it. So a huge salute to Chef Kevin Gilbert. We'll be creating a sign-up sheet here very shortly.
Is that what he
So you
did?
guys will be able to lock in. We have 56 spots in the upstairs private room. So that'll be first come, first serve. And I'll explain that when we have the sheet out, that I'll have you guys list each individual that's coming. It won't be a party like Paul Esden Jr., a party of 3. You'll list every person that's going to be in attendance so I can cross-reference it. And again, we'll be doing that later. But yeah, this menu looks phenomenal. I'm getting hungry just looking at it, to be honest with you. So shout out to Chef. So this will be the menu for our tailgate. So if you guys are interested and you want to come, this will be it. Again, I'll show you guys the restaurant takeover menu. We'll do that next week when we put some final touches with me and Chef Kevin Gilbert. I'm putting together a graphic with the images of the food that he's made. So again, we should have that next week by about Wednesday or so. But this is the menu for it. So, Pop, we got 30 spots left, and I think we're going to sell out.
Think? How could we not? And I will tell you this. This is amazing food by Chef Kevin Gilbert. The night before, October 10th, amazing. The restaurant takeover at the Cloverleaf Tavern. If you're in Jersey, you don't have to wait for October. Go to the Cloverleaf Tavern now.
Highly recommend it. Chef is amazing. I do recommend. I've gone to his restaurant several times. He's an unbelievable person, very giving, and I love that we've been able to become friends, quite frankly, and then on top of that, partners with all this moving forward. So this is terrific. Like I said, our group, if you've already purchased a ticket or you're on a waiting list where we've confirmed back and forth, we'll be sitting in section 118, which is right next to the Jets tunnel. So MAC 118, tailgate location won't be determined until about 2 or 3 weeks out from the event. But we may not be back in D7. We may be in a different lot entirely, Mac, and anyone else who's asking out there in the universe. Again, I'm working with experts in tailgating in terms of Chef Kevin Gilbert and Lou B, and they've given me a lot of insight into where our tailgate location should be. And so it could be in a new place, but I'll make sure you guys know well in advance. I'll be screaming it from the rooftops. It'll be impossible not to know for that event. So I'll make sure all of you guys know, and I'll send out an email to everyone in the group just to make sure everyone knows exactly where it is. So no worries there. And also, I just want to give a shout out to the Langleys, Joshua and Cecilia. Of course, they won't be able to come to this event because Cecilia will be giving birth right around as we're doing the tailgate. So I just want to make sure we send out our love to their beautiful family, and hopefully everything is going well with the pregnancy and everything. So shout out to, again, Joshua and Cecilia. Many wishes, many blessings. And don't worry, we'll see, I guess, all 3 and 4 of you at the tailgate next year with the Twins. So that's terrific. Can't wait for that in 2027.
Yeah, actually, as we were just talking, and by the way, the Cloverleaf Tavern is in Caldwell, New Jersey. Go ahead and check it out. But I was actually, we were just talking about it, I thought about when I was leaving after our pre-game dinner the Saturday before the last tailgate, and the lovely couple was waiting outside for their Uber. So we won't see them this time, but they'll be in our hearts. So absolutely.
100%. So again, this is the menu. These are all the details. You guys are seeing this first before I put it out on social media. And from there, we'll see how quickly it ends up selling out. I'm fully confident it will. I'm expecting 100 at the tailgate. Last year, we had about 60 at the tailgate. So our numbers have jumped massively. Thank you to all those out in the audience. I can't wait. This is going to be a special treat. I will keep you guys posted with ticket transfers and things of that nature. Here's another fun fact just on this tailgate thing before we send it off, Pop on his way with his guests, is I have confirmed if you bought a ticket through me, so if you just bought a tailgate ticket, I will not be able to help you. It's ticket exclusively. If you bought a game ticket through me or buy a game ticket from me because there's spots left available, you will get a special discount link the week of the game where you can purchase a parking pass for $45. I heard some outrageous things that people unfortunately had to pay last year for a parking pass, and some crazy numbers. Again, if you bought a game ticket through me, as many as you bought. So if you bought 3 game tickets, you'll have access to 3 parking passes at $45 a piece, which will, of course, allow you to park at our tailgate. So again, that's coming up. I don't need to collect any money for that. So don't send me any money for that. wait till we get the week of the game. That I know that seems late for a lot of people, but the Jets have promised me that those will be available. We'll transfer the tickets here once I figure out the seating chart with everyone together, so don't worry on that. That'll probably be another month away or so, but I'll make sure I get those out to you as well. Anything else you want to say about this tailgate or anything, Pop?
No, if you haven't bought your ticket, I don't know what you're doing. All right. You could be a moron.
All right, so there, folks, make sure you guys reach out. Again, Paul A. Esden Jr. at gmail.com. I will be putting this out on social media later today. We'll see if that curries any additional interest out there from the audience, which should be a lot of fun. Well, Pop, thanks for jumping on and talking some AFC East. Enjoy your house guests. And shout out to Chris and Tina, who apparently might be just coming to this game and tailgate.
Yes, they will. Yes, they will. So, hey, now.
Hey, by the way, before we go, Pop, the Langleys are watching and listening in. Cecilia is doing well, and the babies are healthy. Thank you for the blessings. Hey!
Nice.
Let's freaking go, baby! Right. I should have never doubted. Of course, the Langleys were listening at this very moment in time. So beautiful, and that is amazing to hear. So I hope you guys are doing awesome. And again, we'll be thinking about you guys for sure. All right, Pop, appreciate it. And thank you for joining. Go enjoy some time with family.
All right. Have a great weekend, Coffee Club. We'll see you next Saturday.
There you go. Hop on Pop joining us here on the program. We will open up the phone lines here in a second. Quick reminder, everybody, make sure you guys like the video and hit subscribe here on YouTube. We recently just surpassed 8,670 subscribers, baby. We did it, everybody. We freaking did it. The next milestone is 8,680. We're a few people away from that. So to me, we keep climbing these tens. 8,670, 8,680, 8,690. And if we keep chipping away, chip, eventually we're going to get to 10,000, which is amazing. So thank you guys. I'm so fired up for this experience. I want to kill it for you guys. I want this tailgate to be amazing. I want the restaurant takeover to be amazing. I want the game to be amazing. So me and Woody are doing everything in our power to make it the greatest experience of all time. If you guys went last year, you know what this experience is like. If you don't, I'm telling you, we're having B Sprinter, a live DJ. They're in the parking lot. Chef Kevin Gilbert's providing the food, catering the food, which is amazing. And again, once we sell out of those tailgate tickets, we won't have any left remaining. So, folks, I highly recommend you buy them if you haven't already and jump on that train because once they sell out, unfortunately, you'll be able to come to the tailgate. You can swing by. It's not like roped off or anything. You can come stop by and say hello if you'd like, but you won't be able to get any of the delicious food if you don't buy a ticket. So make sure you guys do so out there in the audience. All right, let's do this. Let's take a quick half time out. We'll welcome your phone calls next here on Boy Green Daily.
1, 2, 3.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Boy Green Daily, a daily New York Jets video show, also available wherever you get your podcast. It's great to have you guys back. Again, like the video, hit subscribe. We're here on June 13th. I guess I should get into our raffle prizes for this month. I apologize for not getting into that before the break. So let's get into that right now here, baby. If you've been submitting raffle tickets throughout the month of June, then you have a chance to win some badass prizes, baby, which is terrific. I love having the opportunity to give back to the fans, and this is a cool way for all of us to do it, of course. If you are new around here, we do a raffle every single month on this channel. If you spend $3 on the channel, you're in the raffle. That's it. $3. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a little money sign. You can super chat, which can leave a question or comment. You could super sticker. You could give channel memberships to thy neighbor. You can join the Boy Green Coffee Club or the Espresso Club. Feel free to do that. Our Espresso Club is an exclusive fantasy football league. If you're a fantasy football fan, you want to compete against me and your fellow Espresso Club members, join the Boy Green Espresso Club. It's only $5.99 a month. So that's a cool perk. Plus, we do a private live show at the end of every month, and I've heard some whispers. I don't want to make any promises that I told you we have a lineup of Super Bowl III champions that'll be joining us over the coming weeks with Bob Lederer on these Fridays. There may be a West Coast Super Bowl III champion that can't join us for the morning, but maybe could join us for a private live Espresso Club show where you guys could have a private conversation and maybe some live questions with a Super Bowl III champion from that Jets team. So again, one of the many perks of the Boy Green Espresso Club, baby. So make sure you guys join in. Another possibility, and a few people have taken advantage of this. I appreciate that. C did this yesterday. You guys can also Venmo, PayPal, or Zelle me if you guys want to send in a tip to the show. I appreciate that. Tip your waiter if you enjoy the program. That's a cool way to do it. That's at BoyGreen25 on PayPal or Venmo. BOY Green the color 25. On Zelle, it's my email, paulasdenjr at gmail.com. If you want to send something along, I appreciate that as well to support the show. Here are all the prizes, by the way. Here are all the prizes for the contest. We're giving away 2 tickets to the Gang Green Beach Club event. It is less than a month away. I can't wait to bring my family out there to Atlantic City. It's going to be at the HQ2 Beach Club, the Ocean Casino Resort. GangGreenBeachClub.com has more information, and also where you can purchase your tickets. They're $25 a pop, but I'll be giving 2 of them away for this month's raffle. So someone on July 1st will win 2 tickets for you and a friend to go to Atlantic City with us, with Jet fans, Jets content creators, Jets beat reporters, and have a hell of a time. Doors open on Saturday, July 11th at noon. They close at 6. No jeans, no open-toed shoes. Crocs are allowed. 21 and over. Wear green and white. Represent your Jets, baby. So no jeans, no pants. Wear some shorts. It's a beach club, so enjoy it. There's a pool. I saw the pictures from Lou B. They're spectacular. So we're giving away 2 tickets to that wonderful event, which will be amazing. That's a $50 value that's included in here. Plus, we're giving you 2 items from the draft in Pittsburgh. I was there at the draft. It was one of the coolest moments of my life. We have the pick is in, a rally towel from the draft that was waving above my head every time the Jets were on the clock. We also have a New York Jets draft 15 by 15-inch canvas, which was a special gift from the New York Jets for the draft. Again, personally, I want to keep this thing. It's beautiful, but I also want to give back to you, the fans, for all the support on the show. So, that's awesome out there in the universe. So those are all the items. We're giving that away on July 1st, and then we'll immediately announce our new raffle coming up, which I think you guys are really going to enjoy. For people asking about the parking lot location for our tailgate, again, that is TBD. We probably won't announce that till a few weeks before the event. Again, I trust the insights of one Lou B, and of course, Chef Kevin Gilbert, and we'll put it in the best place. And wherever we put it, I promise, everyone in the universe, Mac and anyone else, will make sure you guys know where the tailgate is via email, smoke signal, pigeon carrier, here on the show, YouTube posts, Discord, Twitter, Facebook. I'll put it everywhere so you guys can't miss it. Absolutely. Yeah, Yo Home saying it's really real now. Yeah, to see our section and everything in the game and putting all those details together. Oh, it got real yesterday. So that's awesome. That is awesome. I can't wait. It's going to be a wonderful time. So thank you, everyone who decided to come, and for more people who decide to come later. Brian Farrell's like, Paul, you're killing me. I'm sorry, man. The tailgate's awesome. I hope, I know, Brian, you can't go, but I'm hoping others out there see it and want to go. It's going to be a fun time. E-Zone Coverage says, maybe David Bailey doesn't have number 2 overall credit, but neither did Nick Benito, who, yes, was a second-round pick, but comps favorably to Bailey, who had better college numbers. I've said this before. I'll say this again. David Bailey was not my first pick, of course. He was not, for what the Jets should possibly do in the draft. But I understand the thought process. We were 31st in the league in sack production last year with 26 sacks. The only team that was worse was the San Francisco 49ers who had 20 sacks. And the only reason they had fewer is because Nick Bosa got hurt. If he didn't get hurt, we would have been last. So the Jets are like, we suck at sacking quarterback. Let's add talented like caveman. Let's add a guy who can sack the quarterback a lot. That makes sense. Boom, boom. Make it happen. So that made a lot of sense. Let's see if he can have an instant impact. I would love nothing more than week 1, which I will be at, of course. Jets Titans. Shout out to Mahar Khalil and his beautiful bride. David Bailey gets 2 sacks immediately or something. That would be magical. That'd be awesome. I see we got a super chat coming in from Mac. Let's get a super chat. Every time we get a super chat here from my daughters, Orion Luna.
Wow.
Appreciate that. Thank you, Mac. By the way, you are now up to 7 raffle tickets for our contest. Thank you, Mac. Why don't we get voodoo dolls for all of our opponents? It is a good question. I can check. Let me hear. I'll get the music chanting in the background here for your some voodoo doll action. And sent it to me because, the Colts to me are the key to the Jets getting a franchise quarterback. This little bastard dancing around. Why don't we get, he says, a voodoo doll for every opponent? Well, there's a lot of opponents, I guess. And does Medusa make voodoo dolls for every team or just she hates the Colts? That I don't know. I guess I could do some research into it, Mac. Maybe we can make a voodoo doll fund to fund all this. And then, that could be a thing each week that we pluck or prick a voodoo doll. I'm open to it, I guess. I was really only going to do it for the Colts because of that random conversation with Bob Letter on a previous Friday show, but maybe. I'll have to do some more research, Mac, but that's an interesting thought for sure. So possible, Mac. I'll look into that. Thank you for the super chat. Yeah, I'll look into that. Let's answer some of your questions and comments here before we sign off. Jets Worldwide says, I think Carl Dunbar will remedy the run stopping this season. That would be marvelous. I also think the talent increase will help too. You have guys like David Onyemata. He's really good against the run. You got Devontae Sweat. You got Jawan Briggs. You got Harrison Phillips. You have Mozzie Smith. Mozzie train going off the rails on a Mozzie train also is amazing. So I think that's going to help. Carl Dunbar is obviously one of the best defensive line coaches in football. That's going to help. We'll see again on those base packages where you have Will McDonald and David Bailey both on the field at the same time. That will be something that will be challenging in perimeter run defense. But hopefully the Jets have something they didn't have last year. They're playing with leads, and you can unlock that package of David Bailey and Will McDonald on the field at the same time. And they don't have to worry about a run on 3rd and 15. They don't have to worry about a run on 3rd and 12. They could go after the quarterback and, hey, Will and David Bailey like, hey, you want to race the quarterback? We'll see who gets there first. Boop, and go. So, yeah, that's a great point out. I love Carl Dunbar. That's phenomenal. Great to have him back. Welcome back, Carl. Appreciate you. Let's see. NY Jets FL points out that Quinnen Williams had 2.5 sacks in 7 games. So, Pop, shut up about Jawan Briggs. Thank you for saying that. Jets Worldwide says, I have to start collecting Pop sound effects. He is a little RoboCop-ish. He is a little RoboCop-ish for some of those sounds. That is true. He does have a little bit of that in him there. How many games did Jawan Briggs play? Didn't he play in all 17, I believe? Let me double check that. I do believe he played in all 17. He might have even, I don't want to over-exaggerate. Let me check the numbers. But I'm pretty sure he played in all 17. Let's see if that's true. Pulling up his stats right now. Pro Football Reference. Jawan Briggs. It's loading. He did play in all 17 games, and he started 8 games last year. He had 4 sacks. Second on the team in sacks. 10 quarterback hits. Very nice numbers. Snap count, he played in 52% of the defensive snaps. So we'll see what it works at with the rotation this year. But yeah, I don't think Jawan Briggs should just be tossed aside like my father did. Yeah, like the defense sucks, so everyone on the defense sucks. That's not true. It's not true. There can be, there's 11 guys on the field. One guy can be really great and the rest can suck. That's totally possible. Totally feasible. Yoham says Kenyon Sadiq, the Jets' first-round tight end, will need a minute to marinate in the NFL. Yeah, he is new to the tight end position. Rich Cimini was highlighting this on a recent Jets Collective podcast episode. He hasn't been playing tight end a whole long time. So he's relatively new to the position. He was a full-time starter for the first time in his final year in college this past season, of course. So, yeah, he's going to need time. But maybe there's just things he can do that there are things he doesn't know yet, that he hasn't learned, clearly. But maybe there's things he could do that Frank Reich could just incorporate. Get the ball in his hands. Maybe it's just as simple as that. Again, you do like a trip bunt set to your right, and you have whoever. You get some size out there, maybe. You get Omar Cooper Jr., who's a physical as hell dude. You have him as the front set of your trips. You have Kenyon Sadiq on the left, Omar Cooper in the front. Let's say, like, Garrett Wilson on the right or something. And then you have the top guy, right guy, stock block up, Kenyon Sadiq flare out, and then you just toss it in his hands. You have two blockers in front of you, and you get a quick pass. Gino hikes the ball and just fires it over there. Stock block up, whoop, flare out, boop, a little bubble out, and then just see if he could just get some yak. I'd like that. I'd like that. But again, you have Mason Taylor, you have Jeremy Ruckert, like you have a bunch of different guys out there, and then all the receivers we mentioned, Breece Hall, like he should have some of those opportunities where he's not getting double teamed or anything. So that's what I would hope to do there with Sadiq. That's a good thought. Holmes bringing up no more Rodgers douchebaggery. Now it's just AG douchebaggery. Don't believe me? Ask Rich. Hey, there was a lot of feisty moments last year between AG and the media. And I'm not saying there's not going to be this year because we haven't had adversity yet. We haven't had moments where AG versus media, where media says, hey, AG, you said this. That will naturally come during the season and maybe even during training camp when we have rubs. Injuries, bad play, whatever games, certainly it's more in your face because there's, it's a result-oriented business. So losing games and facing that heat, how does he respond? I will say, to me, my observation, I watch every Aaron Glenn press conference. It's part of my job. Aaron Glenn is a different cat right now. And that may mean nothing. The Jets could go 0-17 and Aaron Glenn could be a different cat. It doesn't mean anything. I'm not trying to pretend it does, but I'm just saying from a AG addressing himself standpoint and trying to correct his issues he had, I think he's doing a really good job of explaining the why, and he's going out of his way. He's not waiting for questions to do that. For instance, I've seen on a couple of these press conferences after a mini camp or something, he says, hey, let me explain to you guys exactly what we're doing here. Like he's being more open. He's being more transparent. He's explaining what they're trying to accomplish out of a practice, which helps the media better cover it better if they know what's going on. If AG is private with that information, that can lead to the media speculating and things of that nature. So I thought he's just done a really good job. He hasn't gotten anything with the media. He's been more open about explaining rationale for why they're doing things, how they're doing things. I think that's been cool. So we haven't seen really any AG douchebaggery this year. But again, in fairness, we haven't seen a lot of these, whatever the word is, we haven't seen a lot of these adversity opportunities where that would be more prevalent. I don't think we've seen that either. Got a member super chat from Badshaw here on the program. Shout out to Badshaw. Here we go.
Wow.
Now, before I read out this message, Badshaw, I also want to give you a shout out, my friend. We have your seating, right? I told you guys that a cool thing for if it is required, ADA seating is what it's called for, Badshaw. Your seating, so we're in 118 for anyone that's bought a ticket through us. And I got the closest ADA seating for you, Badshaw, which will put you and Jared B in I have it right here. 1 second. It is section 35. So that is right next to us, basically. I might have written that section wrong, but apparently it's right in our same section is that ADA seating. So you should be solid, my man. So I'm glad the Jets were able to hook us up and figure all that out. So that is great. So you and Jared B should be locked in, which will be awesome. Badshaw, member for 23 months. Thank you for the support, brother. Congrats, Josh and Cecilia, which again is just amazing. We had the Langleys at the tailgate last year and the restaurant takeover. It was so lovely meeting Josh and Cecilia, such amazing people. And again, Cecilia's pregnant, which is amazing news. She shared that a while back. And yes, I believe the due date's like in the October-ish range, which is right around the game. So I don't think Cecilia, the first thing she's going to want to do 8 or 9 months pregnant / just having a baby, let's go to that Jets game. Like, I don't think that's going to happen, and probably shouldn't. Like, let's take care of family, and we'll see you guys next year. But we are all thinking about you guys. Anywho, back to Badshaw here. P.S. Jared B is a closet Titans fan. Paul, be honest, which game are you going to this year you're most excited for? So normally I don't have choices. Normally I get a chance to go to one game. I live about 5-6 hours away from MetLife Stadium, something like that. I am going to the Week 1 Tennessee game. Shout out to Mahar Khalil and his beautiful bride for inviting me out. We're figuring out all the rest of the details, location for staying and the airplane ticket. I got to figure all that stuff out. But the game ticket is secured. That's terrific. I can't wait. The Titans game is going to be awesome. Week 1. We have the Week 2 game. Shout out to JR327 and his son. They're hosting me for the Jets Packers home opener. And then, of course, we have Week 5 Jets Browns. What game am I most excited for? The politically correct answer is saying I am excited for all of them because Mac invited me, JR327 invited me, and then our huge tailgate. I'm excited for Jets football. So I am really excited for all of them, but I'll answer the question. It's Jets Browns, and there is the season opener. There is a special sauce set. There's no joke, but we're going to see a lot of people in Tennessee. I'm sure I'm going to run into a lot of people at Green Bay. Me, JR327, and his son are going to go to that tailgate for Green Bay with Lou B, the game day flight crew, which is awesome. But there's nothing quite like that tailgate experience. I know because I have a list of people that are going. The restaurant takeover is special. We have this intimate experience with me and my fellow Jet fans. Super cool. It's lax. We're eating. We're talking. I'm trying to roam. I'm trying to not just sit at my table and eat my food. I'm trying to like bounce between tables and go to talk to people and stuff. So I'm really excited for that. I'm excited for the game. I'm excited for all that. So, yeah, it's probably Jets Browns, but I don't want to denigrate the excitement for Tennessee and being with you guys. If we end up all staying together, that would be awesome. The Packers game, the home opener. Again, if we're 1-0 and we have a chance of 2-0 in Green Bay, I imagine atmosphere is electric. It's going to be electric either way, but it has a chance to be super electric. And again, starting the season with all my brothers and sisters here in the Jets community is pretty awesome. So that season opener is going to be cool too. Yeah, so my answer is Jets Browns, but quite frankly, I'm excited about a lot of stuff. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, Derek the Kansas Jet fan is jumping in the mix, gifting a Boy Green Coffee Club membership. We love to see it. Let's freaking go, baby. Derek Kansas Jet fan, you are now up to 7 raffle tickets, my friend. Appreciate that. Let's read the new member to the Boy Green Coffee Club from out in the audience. Let's get to that here. All right. That went to BG Bunda. BG Bunda, you're now a member of the Boy Green Coffee Club. Great to have you aboard, my friend. Great to have you aboard. Love it. By the way, we'll have NFL insider Matt Lombardo on the show tomorrow and Jets Worldwide. That'll be terrific. Matt Lombardo kicks us off at 7:30, Jets Worldwide at 8 o'clock. So can't wait for that. It is also Game 5 of the NBA Finals this evening between the San Antonio Spurs and the New York Knicks. Did the Knicks win the championship tonight, or does it come back to MSG on Tuesday? We'll see. Thank you. Thank you, Derek, for the membership gift. You have another raffle ticket, my friend. Yeah, Max says, any word on the Airbnb yet? And Badshaw responded, not yet, Max. Still waiting on someone to pay more than game tickets before I get the Airbnb. But it looks like there's plenty of options, Mac, which looks good for this Airbnb coming together. So it's looking really good. It's looking really good. Man with Jet Tattoo says, BG, I may need to be in that section with Bradshaw and Lou B. Well, I don't know where Lou B's sitting. He did not get a game ticket with us, but I don't believe he is with Badshaw. Oh, are you talking about Tennessee? Oh, in Tennessee, we're all going to be together. That's section 110 of Man with Jets Tattoo. If you're going to travel up for the Tennessee Titans game, we're all or Badshaw, I believe, is in 110. He can answer it, but a lot of the Jet fans are sitting in section 110. I am in a section with Lou B, Mac, Jake Asvin, a bunch of people in 110. But if you're talking about the Jets game, Badshaw is in a slightly different section. He is in ADA seating. So I'm sure you can buy tickets for that, but that's different than what I think we'll have available. But I can double check that. Derek, the Kansas Jet fan, with a member super chat. He's been on for a month. We appreciate that. Soraya Luna, give him a warm response.
Wow.
Derek says, can't wait to see you in Nashville, BG. We will win. Yeah, I can't wait to meet you and so many others. There's a bunch of people coming out, Derek. That's going to be awesome. So I can't wait. We'll take a picture together. We'll hang out. And we'll share in stories and love and everything else. That's going to be awesome. Yes. Let's go. That'll be awesome. Yeah, section 110 is where we're sitting for the Titans game. So I don't know if that's what you're talking about, C, but yes. The Titans game section is 110. The R section for Jets Browns is 118. And then there's ADA seating, like I said, for Badshaw and Jared. That's somewhere in that section. I'll have to pull it up on the map chart and understand. But they said that works perfectly, is what the lady told me for the Jets, for where they're at with ADA seating and where we're at. So it should work out great. So I can't wait. Thank you to the 200 people that are watching the show right now. Make sure you guys like the video here on YouTube. Show your support. Let's get this Jet show out in front of other Jet fans out in the audience. I'd really appreciate that. If you guys could spread the word, spread the gospel, baby. Spread the gospel here on the program. We'd appreciate it. Yes. And let's keep climbing up the subscriber train. Let's roll. A couple other plugs before we sign off. Again, if you're just hearing about this, it's official. It had been official for a while that we're going to Jets Browns, but here is our graphic of choice. I'll be putting this out on social media later. Me and Woody are hosting a ticket and tailgate experience with a bunch of key contributors, with Chef Kevin Gilbert, Lou B, Super Jets fan, Hop on Pop, Johnny Boy, and Snowball. It is for the Week 5 New York Jets versus the Cleveland Browns game. That is Sunday, October 11th. If you want the full package from us, it costs $300. You get a game ticket guaranteed in the 100s. You get a tailgate ticket where you get to have all the wonderful food from professional Chef Kevin Gilbert from the Cloverleaf Tavern. We will have a live DJ and B Sprinter. That's Lou B, Super Jets fan. And we will be providing non-alcoholic drinks. If you want, you guys can BYOB. Bring your own beer. That is totally acceptable. We have coolers available, so you can throw them in the ice if you'd like. We'll be providing all that. But long story short on that, for people that are craving all kinds of alcohol, is the Jets are cracking down on that sort of thing. And I don't have a liquor license, so we can't sell alcohol like that. But again, BYOB, feel free to bring your own booze if you'd like, and you can load it up and have it. It's not an anti-alcohol tailgate or anything, but makes it easier for everybody. So we will provide that element as well. So non-alcoholic drinks, water, Gatorade, things of that nature, plus the food. And we'll give you a custom rally towel, baby. That is the $300 package. Custom rally towel, food from Chef Kevin Gilbert, live DJ. It's going to be an amazing experience. I hope you guys can all come. For all the people who are already signed up, excellent. Can't wait. For new people that are going to jump on the train when I post this on social media, welcome to the club as well. It should be a terrific time. And like I said, we have about 30 tailgate tickets left. So if you're out there in the audience and you want a ticket to this shish kebab, you are going to want to do that sooner rather than later before they sell out. Now, just remember, I warned you. That's all I'm going to say. Make sure I warned you. And by the way, here's another tease, is this is the beautiful tailgate menu. If you come to our tailgate and buy a tailgate ticket, part of our ticket package, you have a chance to try all the wonderful food from Chef Kevin Gilbert, which includes hot dogs, sliders, sides of salad, iziti, house-made potato chips, toasted pretzel sticks, Pop's bacon popcorn, all that delicious food. And it is delicious. And I plan on eating a lot more of it this year. I was doing too much hosting last year. I didn't eat enough. So I want to eat more. So the menu is running back. It's going to be an awesome experience, and I hope you guys are there for it. Well, I want to thank you guys for tuning into another episode of Boy Green Daily. Again, we'll have the NFL insider Matt Lombardo on the show tomorrow. We'll have Jets Worldwide representing at 8 a.m., Matt Lombardo at 7:30 a.m., It's going to be super fun. Thank you, everyone that decided to gift today. Thank you to Pop for joining us on the show. Lou B, hopefully that covered a large chunk of your 2-hour drive that you have. So hopefully that was entertaining. Ashton Jet fan with 5 memberships. Chubb for Club with a membership. Mahar Khalil, the super chat. Batshot 23 months. Derek, the Kansas Jet fan, 1 month. And Derek also gifting a Boy Green Coffee Club membership as well. Chef Kevin Gilbert is in fact the man, Derek. He is the best. Thanks everybody for tuning in, and we will see you next time